Everybody, Dwayne Zeddy here for another installation of my brain pretty much. No Shave November, I'm trying to grow his beard back, you see. But anyways, I want to talk about pretty much what's happening. Why is this happening? And when I say why is this happening, I mean my generation between, I don't know, 88 to like 96, I guess I could say. 90, I don't know, just this generation that's going to be next to take over. What what are we doing? Why aren't we trying to change things? Why aren't we trying to aspire to be things? Now, don't get me wrong, some people do aspire to be something greater, help people and be doctors and be this and be that. But if you ask a majority of people in my generation, what do you want to be when you grow up? It will take them a long time to think about that. And most of them will say the generic, I want to be a nurse, or I want to own my own business, or just generic answers, and they won't elaborate on how they're getting to that point. Now, some of them do want to be nurses, and some of them do want to own businesses, and they've been like that for as long as they can remember. But the majority of my generation is only thinking about what Kim Kardashian is wearing, who's dating who in the music industry, what happened on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, why Honey Boo Boo's mom is dating some child molester, and I don't even know the percentage. A majority of the people can't tell you where the Sinai Desert is located. They can't tell you who the president of Ukraine is now. They can't tell you why ISIS is doing what they're doing. They just follow what's going on in the news and think that when a major story happens, they know everything there is about it because a hashtag comes up and then they can talk about it. When you bandwagon information that the news gives you, you spread this falsified, this watered down, this biased information that they're feeding you, and then you act upon it and say, oh, well, the Ebola is from the government and they're going to have martial law. I'm in Texas. I can still do whatever the fuck I want in Texas. There's no FEMA camps popping up. There's no nothing. This Ebola thing has died down, and no one's even hashtagging about it anymore. But why is it that we seem to not want to help people? We want to help ourselves. We want to stack paper. We want to have a nigga that makes money. But we don't aspire to be what we used to want to be in first grade when I asked you, what do you want to be? People used to be like, I want to be president. People used to be, I want to go to Africa and feed all the children. Now we don't know what we want to do. We just turn up. We just do the most. We become strippers and we become dope boys, and we think it's cool. We think, oh, I'm making money. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. If you ask a real stripper, she don't want to do it. She either doing it so she can survive, or she's doing it so she can feed her family, or she's doing it to put herself through school to become a doctor or a lawyer or something. If you ask a dope boy, why are you doing this? A real one that's born in the hood, that knows nothing but the hood, he's going to tell you, I'm doing this so I can get out of the hood. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to get shot at all the time. I don't want the cops arresting me, kicking down my mama's door. But people think that's cool. People think that that's the thing to do because you can sit around and do whatever you want and you make money. What happened to wanting to better yourselves? To better your world? To better everything around you? What happened to knowing what's going on in the world? Back in the day, people in our generation knew what was happening. They knew about Vietnam. They knew about the whole Bay of Pigs. They knew about everything that was going on in their world. They still had fun, but they wanted to do something. They wanted to be something. We don't want to be anything anymore. We just want to sit around and watch TV and worry about who's doing this on the news and who's doing this on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They don't care about you. Plain and simple. They make money off of you because you sit around and worry about what they're doing. If you died, they would still make money. I don't understand why people, my generation, is not aspiring to be anything. I've asked so many of my friends, so many of the people I know, so many of the people I've randomly met, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because I talk about what I want to be. What do you want to be when you grow up? And they take forever to think about it, and they have 4 or 5 different answers. We're getting to the point in time where this transition is going to happen, where we are going to surpass this older generation and become the new world leaders. If we don't know what we're doing or what we want to do or who's going to do it or how we're going to do it, what's going to happen? If we all hate the government and the government's failing us and Obama did this and Congress did this and they did this and they did that, and we don't want to be government because government sucks, where is government going to go? How are we going to run a country if we have no government? We are being surpassed intellectually and technologically by other nations who 20, 30 years ago had nothing, because their kids still aspire to be something, still aspire to do something to better their country, and since they've been doing that, they have been getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter, while we are getting dumber and dumber and fatter and slower. Everyone wants to be a basketball player, everyone wants to be a football player, everyone wants to be a nurse, everyone wants to be just this genericness that everyone wants to do. And the reason why we're being outsourced by other countries, people that are coming over here and getting these jobs that we're saying, oh, they're taking our jobs, because this generation doesn't want to do them. They don't want to be anything. We're lazy. We are lazy. We're so lazy. Why is it that you can tell me all the Kardashians' names, even the Jenners, but you can't tell me who's the heads of the UN? You can't tell me who are running for president in the United States. We need to change something. We need to start thinking about the bigger picture, not this bubble that we all live in, this bigger picture that's called the world, and better it. When we want to change Africa into a better place where people don't have to starve and drink mosquito-infested water, where they don't have to worry about being raided and raped and pillaged like it's the frickin' 1100s. We have stopped wanting to change. We have stopped wanting to better this world. And because we are doing that, because this generation has gotten this mindset of it's all about me and I'm going to stack this paper and be this cool ass person, the world is going to get a lot worse. It's bad now, but think about us running it. Just think about that. Think about how bad it is now. You say, oh, the world needs to end because it's so bad. That's just giving up. Now think about if we were running the world. That should scare you right now. That should actually make you think, because I know you can name more people who don't want to do anything than people who do want to do something in this world. And imagine those people having to take responsibility. We need to change something. We need to start thinking with our minds and not worrying about what's going on TV, and not trying to hop on the bandwagon of hashtags and get likes because you're posting something about what's going on in the news. You need to actually know what's going on in the news and know the history behind the actual events that's going on in the news, and know what's going on the other side of the news from what CNN and NBC and BBC is telling you, and know about the real stuff, what's really they're not telling you, because they're not going to tell you everything. They can't. Why would they? We need to remember that we need to step up. We're going to have to step up to keep this world running. Just think about us running the world. It's scary. But that's just me.